Hey Mike, do you have any updates on any local sightings or anything?
Oh yeah, I've got some interesting news. First of all, Ralph and I went back to the spot where we shot the video a year ago, and although we got there about 2 weeks in the year later than the previous, which meant that some of the supporting sticks that were in the orchard were taken away, we were still able to locate the pretty much the location of where we shot that figure last year that I've talked about. And so we set up the camera and we reshot it a little earlier in the day than previously, so we weren't using the night vision. But I think that we got enough information on there, even though it's a clearer view, a more sunny daytime view. We're going to be able to show that the figure in the film is at least bigger than me. And I had always felt that the figure that we were looking at there was a juvenile and not a fully grown Bigfoot. And so that is likely to back it up. And interestingly enough, from that same area, I have a couple of other little flashes. Another interesting little thing is a couple came into the museum last week. They had just moved from Orange County in Southern California up here to Aptos. Aptos is the little town below Nicene Marks where all of our activity is taking place and where we shot the film. And she came in and said that when she was looking at some of her property, walking her dog one late afternoon, the dog barked as she looked and saw a figure disappearing into the forest. It was in silhouette. It was upright. It looked like a human. She thought it was maybe a homeless person. And then she felt even stronger that it was likely a homeless person when later they discovered in some grass that was about 3 feet high, growing under a tree, a nest that had been made where the grass was all flattened down. And in the exact spot where the grass was flattened, there was overhanging limbs that formed a shelter over the top of it. And so she and her husband mentioned it to their neighbors that they might want to cut the grass because it was encouraging the homeless to sleep on their property. But later that night, starting at about 11:45 and continuing to 1:30 in the morning, they heard screams. And they were both frantic to talk about it, and almost bumped into each other, trying to be the first to let me know what they heard because it was so outrageous. And they said it was a continuous series of short screams that were just absolutely mind-boggling, and very much like other screams that we've heard described and that we've even recorded from the area. I played some of those for them. They said it sounded definitely the same. And the man told me he's been a hunter and been out and hunting big game in various parts of the world, and that these things sounded like nothing that belonged in that part of the United States. So further evidence that there's activity in that area.